Hello, scholars. Here we go, talking about the signs of chemical change. So next week, we get to do a forensics lab, all right? We're going to look at physical and chemical changes. How do we recognize a chemical change? That's going to be pretty key for the lab. So here we go. When we talk about chemical properties, we're talking about the ability of one molecule, one chemical, one substance to change that composition of matter in another substance. Kind of a complicated definition. So what does that mean? Right, we've been talking about atoms and molecules in class. Remember the little Legos? Okay. So the only way we can see a chemical reaction is by the substances it produces. And what we're doing is we're rearranging atoms. So I start with at least two different molecules. I do something to get them to react. And the atoms of those two different molecules are going to get rearranged to form new molecules. Maybe it's one, maybe it's two, maybe it's three, maybe it's 10. But what we're doing is we're taking the atoms in different molecules and rearranging them to form new types of molecules. And because molecules and atoms are so small, right, we can't look at them individually. We have to look at them as a substance. We need to see the way that certain molecules react with other molecules. We're looking at their behavior. We're looking at the things that they produce. Okay? And then we try and measure those physical characteristics, the chemical characteristics, and we characterize, verb form of the noun, right? We're going to characterize what that new molecule is, what the new product is, what is produced. Products are produced by a chemical reaction. So what should we look for, right? You want to know that. Well, there are others, but the three big ones, okay? Three easiest ones to recognize are change in color, production of a gas, and the formation of a precipitate. Let's go through those individually. All right, so here you see a change in color. Okay, the base solution is clear. The solution we're adding is clear. I mix two clear liquids, and what do I get? A yellow substance. That's a change in color. Why is it changing color? Well, molecules are going to reflect light differently based on what atoms are in that molecule and the chemical bonds holding those atoms together. Certain chemical bonds absorb light, certain chemical bonds reflect light, and if I'm getting a change in color, something's going on there. Does it absolutely mean it's chemical change? Not always, okay? But it's a very good clue that something's going on. Okay? Also, you might have the production of a gas. How do you know that a gas is being formed? Well, you might see smoke if you have a liquid. Okay, you might see the gas bubble up from underneath, okay, and produce bubbles. And so what's going on here is the new molecules we're forming are not in the same phase as the liquid. So if I produce a gas from a liquid reaction, that gas is going to bubble up and be released because gas is less dense than a liquid. So bubbles or smoke might be an indication of a chemical change. Not always. Okay, that might be just boiling. So you need to look at multiple factors. Now, I might also form a new molecule, but that's in a solid phase instead of a liquid. All right. So if I have a solid and a liquid, usually the solids are more dense than the liquid, and that solid, as it forms, it's going to precipitate down, just like rain and snow are forms of precipitation, and hail and sleet. We call that precipitation because it forms in the air and then it comes down and sinks and settles on the ground. Same thing is going to happen in a liquid. When we form new molecules that are in the solid phase, they are going to be more dense than the liquid and they're going to settle to the bottom. What does that look like? Here's what you have. You've got separation of phases. I've got the new thing that's formed on the bottom, and the original solution here on the top. So precipitate rains down and takes up the bottom of the flask or the tube, whatever you've got. Cool? All right, make sure you take notes on this video and read your pages in the book. Take your notes. We'll see you in class.